Hello everyone, welcome back again to Mentor Groove. Hope you have already gone through my introductory video, and this is in continuation to that. From today onwards, I will be starting the project management series. As part of that, this is the first video. I am just making it now. So, as part of the project management series, we know that it will be mainly focusing on project management. Project management, as you know, it is two-word phrase, project and the management. Project, as you know, it is a work that I'll be defining later now. Management in the sense how you manage the project to accomplish the objectives of the project. So now today we will focus mainly on project. So what is project now? There are so many definitions individuals can make for the project, but generally there are a couple of definitions which precisely define the project. The one of them is generally we know that project has definitive start and the end. It is time-based work. So hence a project is a temporary endeavor to create a unique product, service or the result. Anything can be. Sometimes it delivers a product or sometimes the project is initiated to give a service or sometimes it is an outcome of a result. It delivers some result. And also it is always temporary, that is with the definitive start and the end, as I told you, because once it starts it has to end in a scheduled time, and once it ends it will be not repeated. So even though you can take up so many projects later on, but this present project will be a unique one. That is why we call it as a unique. Project is unique, that is it delivers always a distinct outcome, not any routine work. So that you have to make a difference. Project is a temporary endeavor with a definitive start and end, intended to deliver a distinct outcome. Altogether, altogether we can combine all the meanings of the project. We can say it is definitely a systematic or sequential approach to execute the task or the activities involved in the project to accomplish a desired result, product, or the service. Because each project comprises of several works or the task to be executed and completed to deliver the objective of the project. But it is always, we need to know that all the activities or the task involved in the project should be sequentially or systematically arranged and executed in a systematic way. Hence, you can expect the desired outcome of the product or the project. If it is initiated for a product or a service or a result, that can be accomplished 100%. I have mentioned a couple of examples here. A project is undertaken to construct a school building. School building, we can build so many school buildings before and after this. But this school building will stand out and it will be a unique one. Because how can you say is every project, when even though it is a similar project or the same kind of a project, that will have a distinct features or a characters or the activities or the task involved, or even maybe the schedule will be different. So it cannot be same for the project executed earlier or whichever the projects are planned after this. Or you can say project to create any software. Always softwares have distinctive characters. Definitely this goes as a distinct product or a project. A project to organize a public event. Event is also a work, task based with definitive schedule. So, a public event can also be organized systematically, sequentially to achieve 100% result. There are, in addition to that, a project generally classified in three different categories. Some of the projects are undertaken to meet the organization's strategic plans or business objectives. Those are called as strategic projects, or some are initiated to achieve some operational excellence. To improve the operations, they may initiate some project, or sometimes it may be initiated to comply with any government norms or any procedures or internal compliance system. Those are called as projects undertaken for compliance. These three projects are broadly classified and cover most of the projects undertaken in the market. Next, what are the key characteristics of a project? As you know, these are all having distinctive characters when a project is undertaken. Some of them are generally we can narrate. It is always temporary in nature, that is clear start and finish. A unique output, that is always delivers a new product, service or a result. Progressive elaboration. This term need to be understood in a clear way. Progressive means generally the scope when you start the project will have some information. When we begin the project, the scope keeps on adding and elaborated, but without disturbing or deviating from the initial scope. So, whatever the way you elaborate your project scope, initial scope should be kept intact. That is intended purpose of the project, what we call. Otherwise, if the scope keeps on changing or some of the features keep on changing, the intended purpose or the purpose with which the project is initiated cannot be met. It means the outcome will be always different. It will have a defined scope and objectives, that is clear goals and boundaries. It has to work within some boundaries, and it also carries some constraints. Those are called as resource constraints, either time, schedule, scope, risk, whatever the case may be. We have other project constraints. Generally, before I go with other constraints like quality, risk, and resources or schedule, the time, cost, and the scope will always play a vital role in the project outcome. If any of these are altered, the outcome of the project will always be different. That is why these are called as triple constraints of the project. Diagrammatically, we can show like this. It revolves around the quality of the project. All the three, that is cost, scope, and time. If anyone you wish to change, you have to compromise other two. Means change in one factor affects others. Suppose if you want to change the time or if you want to increase the time, that will add up the cost on the resources ultimately the project cost will be increased. Or if any changes in the scope will also have an impact on the time, that is schedule of the project, that will ultimately end up in adding more cost to the project. So cost, scope, time should be balanced in such a way that whenever the project gets completed, it should deliver all the quality parameters, sorry, all the quality parameters planned initially. So these are always a challenging task for any project manager when project is undertaken. That is why the triple contract constraints play a vital role in the project execution and outcome of the project. Project always undergoes some life cycle. Generally, we call it as a life cycle means it undergoes different phases until it gets completed. The project life cycle generally defined is the total duration of the project from initiation to until completion. We have generally 5 phases in a project life cycle. The first one is project initiation, that is concept built, and we also test the feasibility of the project, that is whether it will meet the intended purpose or not, and we initiate some approvals and project charter is built in that. Second one, we will go with the planning, that all the planning work will be carried out. Next, execution, where we deliver some deliver some part of the service, product, or whatever the part of the deliverables will happen. During this execution, we also carry out monitor and controlling. That is, the purpose is to check whether the project is on track, within the schedule, within the budget, etc. Once all these are completed, project enters into a closing phase, closing cycle. That is, final deliverables, acceptance from the client, sign off, or whatever the lessons learned will be added into the repository. This way, the project runs into different life cycles as shown in a schematic way. That is the total life cycle of any project undertaken. Here is the key now. Sometimes we get confused with operations as well. Projects and operations are distinctive always, but many times we deem them as operations, but not true. Both work in a different theories. Some of the distinctive features I have tried with some of the features to distinguish between project and operations. We can just go through it, but generally in a simple way we can say that project is always temporary with a definitive start and the end date, but whereas operations are continuous and ongoing. We have taken examples for the project already. If you wish to have some couple of examples for the operations, you can take it as a automobile manufacturing industry or a company or garment industry, where all the works are repetitive, continue the same cycle every day, and deliver the same product. That is how project and operations are differentiated. What are the conclusion from this now? I am making a small videos as I have some time limitations as well. Uh, the conclusive part of this video is projects are for the change and the innovation. Those are always unique and temporary. They have definite start and the end. Whereas if you take into account operations as well, they have for the they are taken to stability and continuity. They are always single and repetitive, does not have any definite start and the end. They generally continues until you bring it in change in the process. I think by this I have covered the sufficient information or insights of the project. If you feel that any of the topic or the information is missed out from this episode, kindly comment in your comment box with whatever the information I need to cover or whatever the topic I have missed out from the project perspective. Please mention the same in the comment box, and also do subscribe to the channel and support. That will help me to bring out all the new features into my channel and also cover your expectations as well. Thank you. Have a great day.